I'm gonna start with the 7 goals, guys.
Perfect way to
7
start the
goals.
stream. Come on, G. Big up everyone locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button on the way into the stream. As always, big up everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another video. Norwich got absolutely battered, beaten, humiliated, demolished. Whatever adjectives you want to add to it, just add it. They got absolutely piped. What a performance. First player to the last dominant performance. We're going to go into everyone's individual performances and everything surrounding Chelsea versus Norwich. And we're also going to be doing the next giveaway on this stream as well. So stay tuned for that as well. I'll be dropping it in the ticker very soon as well. So check it out. Everyone already saying get Johnny on. Johnny will be on soon. Don't worry. There's no way he's missing this source stream. So you'll see him soon. And he's going to come in, spread Johnny bombs all over the place, and it's all going to be mad. But big up everyone that's locked in. As always, smash the like and subscribe button. Let's get into the stream. Let us know your thoughts on the Chelsea-Norwich game down in the comment section below. We're going to be here for about the next hour and a half, I'd say. I've got to duck around too, but we'll be here until then talking about all things Chelsea-Norwich. So check it out. Smash the like and subscribe button. Check out everyone on their socials. And let's get into it. Jesters, first off, I'm going to start off with you. 6 a.m. in America. First off, fucking big up yourself for jumping on because you really could have just lied in. So big up yourself. But how's everything been anyway?
Yeah, it was amazing yesterday. Great output from the team. So very happy about that. I mean, everybody was hand-wringing about what are we going to do with Romelu and Timo out and Christian Pulisic out. But look, we had the best depth in the Premier League because we're the best team in the Premier League. So when people go down, the next person has to step up. We saw that from a few players yesterday. Mason Mount back. I mean, Johnny must have kept him in his basement and finally let him out because that's a different dude from the past few games. And same with Kovacic. He was lost and found for the past few games, and somebody finally found him again too. So, yeah. Beautiful win. It's, again, 6 a.m. yesterday, got up to watch the game. So that makes your day start off right. And, imagine if we had lost, it would have been a shit day. But, it's beautiful. You can just dance on everybody.
Damn right. Fatta as well. Big up yourself, man. I saw you at the game yesterday, but how's everything been, bro?
Yeah, good, man. Yesterday as well. Not too bad win, It's only 7-0. It's only Norwich, but yeah, man. Yesterday start off with went to the team hotel, inject those minerals with Johnny in the team hotel. He went say hi to Mate as well. I saw a couple of players as well in the team hotel, lots of Jorginho and Christensen. But I didn't saw Pulisic. Kante, Lukaku, Edo Werner as well. So, yeah. But apart from that, positive vibe at the moment, and it's massive statement though. 7-0 win. It's sending message to the outside rivals.
Damn right. Again, we're gonna get into it. So I know everyone's in the comment section is gonna say it long, but this is how the streams always start: intro and then straight into the game. Going into it, Alex as well. 6 a.m. Big up yourself for hopping on. How's everything been, bro?
It's been good at 7:30 where I am. I think I'm
better.
1 hour earlier than Jester, so it's fine. Everything is good. Trying to enjoy the 7-0 win from yesterday. It was a really good game from everybody, so all good.
Love to hear it. Matt as well. Like, we got these guys who have just woke up. You're about to go to bed, but big up yourself anyway. How's the day been?
Yeah, no, it's been pretty good. Fantastic timing for yesterday's game. A lot to talk about for the 7-0. There shouldn't be any complaints this game, any negativity, so we're going to get into all that now.
Wait. Have you slept since the game?
Yeah. No, the game was at 10:30 p.m., so exactly this time. And then it finishes
so you watched the game and then went to bed and then woke up?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's try and figure it out. Oscar, I already know what your mood's like, but let's talk. What's your thoughts on the game, bro?
Hey, I'm so gassed, man. I went to the game yesterday. One of the best games I've been to at Stamford Bridge. Like 7 goals, all a dominant performance. I think that's what we really wanted to see. To be honest, we've played well. We've had wins, but we haven't always taken our chances and had a high output. So I was delighted with that scoreline. I was delighted with the fact that we had two of our, I think, better wing backs playing, and that just helped the fluidity of the team. Yeah, man, I'm in a great mood. I can't lie. I'm gonna watch the rest of the football today, knowing that we're top of the league, and no matter what happens today, we're gonna finish top of the league by the end of the weekend. So yeah, that's good for me, bro. I'm gassed.
Yep, Scott as well. What are you telling me, bro? How's everything been?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I just echo what everyone said. It was a great result. It's a perfect performance. I mean, when you score 7, you can't really have many complaints. No other team has done that so far against Norwich. The most they've conceded so far is 5, and even Liverpool only scored 3. So the fact we scored 7, but no, it was a brilliant performance, and everyone was brilliant. Even the players that came on, even the players like the subs that came on, it wasn't like the level dropped. The level stayed the same.
Yeah, love to hear it. Also, Brad, I see you in the comment section. Big up yourself, bro. It's been a minute. I hope you're all good. Mo, what are you telling me, bro? How's everything been?
Bro, I'm good. I am happy, man. I echo exactly what everybody else is saying, man. We won, and we won in style. We scored 7 goals. We didn't concede. The stadium was buzzing. Everyone's buzzing. And you know what? If this is defensive terrorist football, please may it long continue. That's all I'm going to say to people, man. Let it continue. Let it be this way for us, man. It's time to stat pot this season. We've got nice fixtures coming up. We need to just keep scoring goals just like that, man.
Yeah, and Vitmus, also, welcome back to the stream, bro. It has been a minute. How's everything been for you? Enjoy the game?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Like, honestly, you guys have covered it all already. Great performance, you've said it all. There's nothing bad to say about the team. Everyone played very well. I think what Scott said, the subs, everything went well for Chelsea. It's also good to see us scoring more than 6 goals in a game again. I think the last time we saw this was like what Ancelotti's season, when we were scoring 9 and 8s and things like that. So yeah, things to come, good things to come. It's a start of good things, I'd say.
100%.
And last but not least, Daniel, what are you telling me, bro? How's everything?
It was good, man. I'm good. I'm happy. It was a really good game. I think all the players really did well. I think our attack looked fluid. We haven't looked fluid for a long time. I think Malmo was a good game as well. So it was just carrying on off that game. Yeah, that's really it. I'm happy with every player.
Yeah, love to hear that as well. And yeah, let's get straight into the Chelsea-Norwich game. And obviously, 7-0 win. Absolutely battered them. Team's bottom of the table, propping up the rest of the Premier League. But me and Oscar were speaking about this after the game as well. We were saying, if we can't be happy about this sort of performance because of the fact that it's against Norwich, and Norwich haven't had a win this season, then they've been horrendous throughout the year. When can we be happy? Like, let's look at it. That was the best attacking performance we've seen, in spite of having Lukaku and Werner out. We were thinking this was going to be a much tougher match going into it on account of all the injuries that we had going into the game. But we came in, absolutely battered them from the first minute to the last. Yeah, they don't look like a Premier League side. I'll be real. Norwich look fucking horrendous. They're the worst team I've ever seen play live at Stamford Bridge. I'm being deadly serious. It was that bad. But
what did
we
Derby
made
get
them
when they
play
got-
that badly as well. We have to take it into credit for ourselves too. But go on, Scott. What were you saying?
I'll just say, what out of interest, what did Derby get when they got the record points, like the lowest points?
11.
Bro, there is a very good chance Norwich beat that.
If they play like that every week, definitely.
I don't see who they beat this season. I genuinely don't see who they win. They don't beat Watford. Watford are looking all right, going forward.
Good Lord.
Right, there's no one they look like beating. Absolutely no one.
Question:
No, the only thing that they had was a slightly better defense.
Did they get promoted back to the Premier League?
They won. They won the Champions League or
they won the
championship,
league.
didn't they?
They won the league.
Yeah, they were a good side last year.
Yeah,
Well, they just
yo-yo club.
They just don't have any Premier League talent on that team. None. Zero.
They do,
Except
but
for
it's mixed in with such like you'll
Well, it's
have
not their
players
team,
like
they're the player.
you'll have players like Aaron's, for example, or like Pookie, who I think is a good enough striker, but it's mixed in with players like Kabak and Hanley and shit like that.
Oh, Kabak is
Players
horrible.
Don't forget,
I thought Hanley was the only decent player in that team.
Bro,
because he
I had
managed
to
do
listen
a
to Liverpool fans tell me Kabak was good when I watched him play for Schalke. And he
Oh
was
no,
dog
Kabak is
shit.
shit. Kabak
He's
is shit.
fucking
No, but
awful.
he could not handle it, man. But like someone said it already, they don't really have Premier League players that we can say, you know, are going to keep this team up. And if you look at this team and compare it to the team that was promoted a couple of years back, this team has gotten worse. And I'll be very honest, it's even younger. So to me, I look at it and I'm like, look, guys, enjoy the season in the Premier League, make the money that you can make as best as you can, and rebuild again, because it's very clear to see that this team is looking bare bones to me. Like generally speaking, other than Pookie and Todd Cantwell, there's not a lot of good things we can, and Max Aaron's probably, but besides that, there's not really a lot of things we can say about this team that you can be complimentary about, because when you look at the squad, they're not Premier League proven players, and it's going to take them a while to even adjust to the situation. I think they'll probably do better than what Derby did. I feel like their performances have been horrendous, but their fixtures have been bad as hell. Like, let's acknowledge that, but also their injuries at the beginning of the season were not great either. But even though that I'm saying all of this team, it's very clear to see they're going to get relegated. I don't know why I had high hopes for them at the beginning of the season, thinking actually they will probably play good enough football to be able to fight their way into staying. And now, based on what I've seen so far, they are definitely going down. There's no way they're just staying up.
Yeah, don't forget they sold Buendia as well. Before
I think it's the
That's one of
manager.
the main attack last season.
I think
but he's terrible
It's a
anyway.
system that doesn't suit the players that they have. It's the same thing
It's
when they were in the
everything.
Premier
It's
League last
everything, yeah.
time.
One thing I would say though, based on our win, regardless of who you face, 3 points is 3 points. Like you get the same amount of points. You don't get less points. So, and you look at, like, for example, last week when Liverpool beat Watford, all the Liverpool fans were going crazy, saying Salah's the best player in the world, and rightfully so, because in the Premier League, anything can really happen. This week, Watford went and scored 5 at Everton, despite having a horrible season. So you never know how Norwich season could turn around. We never know how it's going to go. We just got to be happy that when these teams come to Stamford Bridge, we put a marker down and show that we're title challengers and you're where you are. So we are that much better than Norwich, but it's good that we showed that we are that much better.
Here's a question: was Malmo better than Norwich?
Yeah, Malmo are better than
Yeah,
Norwich.
I said Malmo were always
Way
better. I think everyone knew that as well. I think we all said that.
Yeah.
Malmo
Some
did
people
not
didn't.
self-destruct nearly as bad as Norwich did. Norwich, as soon as they got to 4 or 5-0, just completely collapsed.
No,
I think that they were rattled from the get-go, though. Like,
Yeah.
even when we were pressing them, like, anytime they tried to launch anything, anytime they tried to do a few quick passes or anything, it's like they weren't even aware of the fact that we're a pressing team and we can actually get the ball off you at any point. So they just simply could not handle it. We rattled them so quickly that this game, we completely imposed ourselves onto them, and they had no chance whatsoever.
Well, if you
It's
don't
not
press
even
our
just like
midfield, if
The
you
midfield.
if you don't
It's
press
not
our
even just
midfield,
like-
Yeah.
To be
You're
fair,
done.
though, it wasn't even just from like a pressing point. Like you look at Chilwell's goal, for example. Like defensively, they had no idea where they were. Like they couldn't handle us when we were attacking. They had no idea what to do defensively against us.
I'll tell you what didn't help them, Scotty. So, to your point, I don't know if any of you watched Match of the Day. They were talking about this specifically, like in terms of pressing. Their front 3 players literally didn't help this team whatsoever. Like they did not press, they did not track back, they did not even like these 3 players at the front were completely absent in this game for them. And unfortunately, against a team like Chelsea and in a game like this, there's no way you can have passengers, and they had passengers in this team.
you got to put 11. You got to put all 10 people behind the ball, and just hope and pray. But
I mean, can I learn something? I think
Sure.
one thing is if Jorginho is in your box, I mean that means that something is not right. If you let Jorginho go all the way to the opposite team's box, because he's never just playing around over there. You see what I'm saying? Like he give us Mount assist in like outside the box, like literally on the line of the box. That never happens. Like,
well, what I was going to say is it had a lot to do with the tactics that Tuchel employed. Of course, when you play Kai as the 9, he doesn't stay in the center of the pitch. and they had Hanley man marking him, which I believe he was the central center back in the
He
three.
was.
Yeah.
So he was marking him, and he was pulling them all over the pitch. So that left a gaping hole in the center. Then you had inverted wing backs, which they've probably never seen. And we're not talking about playing inverted wing backs because they don't have the correct foot. I'm about playing inverted wing backs that have the correct foot. So I think that also confused him because whoever was tracking them had to track inside, probably not used to that. So it was just everybody played and did what they were supposed to do. You can't find fault with too much in the team. Maybe a play here, a play there. Other than that, it was probably the most dominant win I've seen in a few seasons from any team because they didn't get a sniff. Usually you get one or two, but there wasn't even a sniff. Did they have a shot on goal?
Yeah, they didn't even shoot. I don't think they had a shot.
They had shots, but
the only thing Norwich had was like some decent incisive passing in the first half, but even then there was no one on the end of it.
It's the first minute or two they were pressing pretty well, and then after that they just shattered.
Yeah,
just
shredded.
Just look at the perspective.
They haven't made any shot that like troubling Mendy.
Just look at the perspective. Like we've been playing.
Save, I think that's all. I think.
That's the one in the second half, which is still ridiculous anyway. So let me get through a few of these super chats. Ossian says another reminder that AC is clear of Ruben Diaz. Thank you, man. We didn't need it, but I'm always here for the propaganda. So thank you. Anyway.
I was gonna say, does he know?
Oh no, this guy runs the Christensen Extra account, so he's just rolling with the propaganda. But
Okay, fair enough.
JJ Bridge says 07 Derby, 1 win, 8 draws, 29 losses in 38 games. Disgusting.
That is
07 Derby.
The Derby. We're talking about when Derby came up.
No, fucking hell, 29 losses.
They're on track,
and I don't see where they win.
They keep playing like that.
They're on track, man.
Yeah, it's a sticky one still. Winter Surface says Mount with an awesome man and a match performance. Reece James and Chile be running riot. Cho fantastic. Ruben Loftus-Cheek equals real life Chelsea great cameo, and Mendy cannot be beaten at the moment. Yeah, bro, if we go through individual performances, like everybody was just absolutely ridiculous. Like there wasn't even a negative one. Yeah, Shades, I see you. Right, we'll talk about Cho. Fuck it. Like we'll get into it.
We'll get there, man.
Is this the sort of performance that Thomas Tuchel was expecting from him, or is it something that he was going to be impressed with from Hudson-Odoi? Because there's two different aspects to it. Was it expecting, or was it something that he'd come off and think, yeah, that was a brilliant performance?
Or is it doing that though? That's what he needs to do. That's what he needs to do. But that's fantastic.
That's what his natural position, though.
Yeah, and he's proved that
so much.
What do
natural
you mean?
Position.
That's his natural position.
Again, how many other players play out of position? Mount's not a natural forward, but he was man of the match yesterday. That's not an excuse.
He's strengths to develop that. Sure, he can't. That's his duty. He can't develop to that right wing, but he's not a defender.
Go on, Bitmus.
Like the way Chelsea played for the last 2 or 3 games, we must give credit to the manager and the players because based on what we started, we were winning games, but we weren't winning. We wasn't winning convincingly. You get what I'm saying? But the Malmo game and the Norwich game, we came out and we created chances and we scored goals. So that really means that the coach has, got to the players again and tell them, come on, let's pick it up. We need to give the fans something to be happy and smile about, because even in past games, we won games, but I was like, oh my word, we just beat this team 3-0, but we didn't look like a team were winning that game 3-0. But now, even though it's Malmo and Norwich, the way we played was awesome. Like, I enjoyed the football, but to add to the chuff, this Hudson-Odoi thing, people are gonna argue with me and say, "Oh, Vitmus is what's the word again? Wobbling or I don't know
waffling.
Waffling. Yeah, waffling." But I don't think just after one game against Norwich, who we beat 7-0, should say that Hudson-Odoi is the man. No, it's gonna take a few more games to prove that he's definitely trying to get there. if I was to be completely honest, the only person from the academy who's really shown that he deserves to play in his team is what's his name, Loftus Cheek and Reece James. They
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The way you set that up, bro.
Sorry. Those are the three
Can't be
main
arsed.
people are playing on the level
I think you
that the
forgot.
club would want to see in players. Hudson-Odoi, yeah, he has talent, but he has not showed that for the club as yet. Well, for the past 2 seasons or 3 seasons. So if you guys think that just beating Norwich 7-0 and scoring a goal is him getting, I don't know what you guys.
Let me enter this, please, for the love of God. Oscar, do you want to go?
Now you go first. I'll come
All
on.
right.
I don't need to say anything.
Look at these
No,
two coming
I'm
in like
done.
DX.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No. It's not even a look. I actually agree with certain parts of what you said in regards to saying that he needs more games to show that he is actually going to be somebody that's consistent. I absolutely love the fact that the manager said, yeah, he needs to show consistency. Everybody was out here saying it's harsh. How can he show consistency? All of this and all of that stuff. But generally speaking, I love when managers set high targets for players, specifically for players of Hudson-Odoi type. Why? I actually think he can achieve what's being set out of him. But the fact of the matter is, what it comes down to is when he gets on that pitch, he needs high targets so that when he gets on that pitch, he moves like somebody who's on a mission to just completely screw everything on that pitch up, like really beat players up, right? The fact of the matter is, though, people have to admit, there have been many games where Hudson-Odoi has shown us his qualities. And I believe managers somehow still overlooked him for whatever reason. And any time that we did certain things with him, people have to understand Mason Mount playing out of position isn't as bad as, for example, Hudson-Odoi playing out of position at a right wing back position. Because the way I look at it is Mason Mount, to me, had nothing but game time to adjust to his role. Whereas this guy, Hudson-Odoi, is being brought in and out of the team and being told to just get used to a role that he's never really played before. To me, all that's going to lead to is a player that is going to continuously maybe sometimes make mistakes or not prove exactly what the qualities that is wanted for the team is something that he possesses. However, when you play a player like Hudson-Odoi in the position he's required to play, the position that actually contributes and complements his best attributes, what you saw yesterday is what you'll see continuously. We've seen it before. We can act blind to it if we want, but generally speaking, this guy has shown in those areas that he can actually be a decisive player for us. But the fact of the matter is, because we're concentrated on the team as a whole, I generally feel like I'm fine with managers doing what they're doing. Let me give you an example. Phil Foden is a player that the media till this day keep shouting about, saying that Pep should have played him a lot earlier. But Pep fine-tuned this player and played him where he requires him and fine-tuned him to the level that he's at right now. He's actually progressed well and coached him better without the pressure of the media always getting in his face and dictating if this player should play or not. I generally feel like when managers do that, you're in control of how you develop a player. But what happens with our fan base is, I knew yesterday, as soon as that game finished, there were a few agendas that were going to run. Havertz's agenda was going to run. Where is he? Why did he not do something apparently? I knew that Mason Mount, it was going to be like he scored a hat trick. Everybody's going to come swinging out for this one. And then the third one, it was going to be about Cho. And it was going to be about the fact that he scored a goal. But the fact of the matter is, we're going to ignore all the other aspects of the game that he showed me that he's actually improved in. His pressing yesterday for me was one of the most.
He didn't press.
I really.
He didn't press. He dropped off. It was Havertz and Mount who were doing the pressing.
You said that. I'm glad you said that, my friend. Because generally speaking, if I was at the stadium, I don't know how much of the game you watched. Maybe you watched the whole game or not. But generally speaking, based on what I watched off the ball, Hudson-Odoi was just as impressive to me as he was on the ball. And
you just said
for me,
pressed.
managers more often than not complain about what he does off the ball. Yesterday, there was no complaints to be had in my eyes, at least. But Oscar, go ahead, bro. You add your bit into this.
I don't know if anyone wants to respond to what you said.
Yeah, I do. I would actually love to respond to. You act like he just set these goals for Callum. I mean, is this a new goal that he's never had these goals before?
What goal?
You said that you're glad he set high goals for him. He's always had these these goals for Callum. He just didn't speak about them.
Not really, not out loud to the public for us to all hear.
But that doesn't mean anything. It's what he's talking to the player about behind the scenes. You don't know any of that conversation.
No, but it does.
No, you don't know the conversation that Tuchel's having with Callum behind the scenes and what he wants from him.
I think I can explain.
You don't know that.
I think I can explain something for people that don't understand why Tuchel plays people out of position sometimes.
Can I finish though first?
Oh, sorry.
So when I'm talking about in his best position, I don't like to hear that. But what if he plays right wing? Is that still not a winger or the right attacking position on the team? It's not that same position, just on the other side.
It's not quite the same
because he's got a different foot.
It's not even that's what I'm saying. You cannot say, well, he's only good when he's on the left. There's two attacking positions there, the right and the left. If he wants more game time,
how are you changing what we just said?
I'm sorry, I feel like this is a bit unfair just because I remember when I was a big fan of Frank Lampard, for example. I remember when Lampard played Havertz in the 8, everyone criticised Lampard for that. When he played Werner as a left winger, everybody criticised Lampard for that. People never digged out those players for the fact that they were being played out of position. Hudson-Odoi was asked, bro, like people criticised Lampard more than
they didn't. It was mostly Lampard.
People criticised Lampard more than they criticised the players. And these were big money signings that we had just brought in. Hudson-Odoi was asked to play right wing back, and he started his first couple games there. He won man of the match in his first couple of games. And people told me that, oh, this is his new position now. This is where he should play. Just as you remember, you and I had a conversation where I was like, I don't want to see this guy at wing back anymore. You were telling me that's where he should play. So he played so well in a new position that everybody wanted that to be his regular position. Now, I'll admit, I'm never one of those guys that comes on here and says Hudson-Odoi played well when he didn't. He played 3 games at wing-back this season, Crystal Palace, and then 2 against Aston Villa. He was underwhelming in all 3. He was poor. But I've always maintained, when he plays in the attacking positions, which is where you get the best out of his attributes, he's not a defender. He's never going to have the defending brain to know the positions of where to be. He has to learn that. It's going to take years for him to develop in that. However, when it comes to attacking and knowing where to run, where to make the passes, how to control the ball in the final third and move creatively, he's already got that at 20 years old. He's already that player. And when he played against Southampton, I thought he had a good game. A lot of people thought he had a good game. You said he didn't and then you said if he had more output, it would have took his performance up a level. He came on for 45 minutes against Malmo and he got an assist. He now played a whole game against Norwich. He gets a goal and then he's involved in the other goal that was an own goal eventually, but he was involved in the play that made it happen. He's putting out the output. And I've seen nonsense on Twitter where people are saying, oh, this is all we wanted from Hudson-Odoi. Oh, he needs to add goals and games, all this stuff to his game. And I'm saying, when he has been given an opportunity in the forward positions, he's always had goal contributions. When it was under Sarri in the Europa League, he was bagging assists for Giroud on a weekly basis. When it was under Lampard in his first season, he got given a run of games. Around this point of the season, he played against Southampton and got an assist. I think it was Lille in the Champions League, Newcastle at home. So many games in a row, he gets goal contributions in the positions. All I've been crying out for is Callum Hudson-Odoi to start in those positions. And Vitmus, I know what you're saying. It was Malmo and it was Norwich. Norwich are a newly promoted side. Last week, I watched Chelsea play Brentford, another newly promoted side. We had a £100 million striker up front. We had a £50 million striker up front. And we couldn't create anything going forward. So I don't care how low the opposition is. Chelsea needs to prove on every single level that we can dominate these smaller teams and create chances and score goals. And I'm sorry, Hudson-Odoi has done that this season when he's played in the attack. So
I need to explain something to the people because it looks like nobody actually understands why Cho played it a right wing back. Do anybody understand why Tuchel plays him there? Do anybody actually understand? Do you think it's just because we are short on players over there or something?
No. Do you feel it's a case of
I think
I know what Arsene
look.
Wenger
Let me finish the thing. The wing back and the person offensive inner midfielder, which is Cho's best position, it's coming in from the left to the right. He's supposed to understand what the wing back, like the full back, does. You know what I'm saying? It's a consequences for the forward offensive player go forward without realizing what's going on behind them. I think Tuchel tries to teach him by putting him in a right back to understand consequences, what happens in front of him. For example, when he plays with somebody on the right wing and he goes forward without checking with his player behind him, he will understand what he can do when he goes into his position. He will understand the right back and or fullback position better. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
Like,
you, because that's what Wenger used to do as well with a few of his
like
players. He used
he
to play
put
them out of
yes, you
position so they
put, for
understood certain
example,
aspects of the game, and then he'd be better when he
he
puts them
will
back in natural
understand
position.
exactly. He wants to teach Cho the fullback position because he needs to know that he's playing with even if he plays or higher up on the field. There's the players that play behind him realize like they how you say it. If you make a mistake up on the field, the fullback has to fix it. I think he put him as a fullback to understand those situations, like what you can do and what you can't do. That's why he plays him in a fullback because next for him it's go up in the field, so he's gonna be more how you say it English better at the position he's actually supposed to play. Like if he's a like for example, if he's a better on the left going forward, do you think him and Cho, Chile needs to be in a good understanding? Like between him and Chile, it has to be a clear understanding between those two,
yeah,
because if Callum goes forward without checking with his partner behind him, we get counter, we get out of position. That's why he's not gonna put him in the left back because we have a good players on the left back to understand. So he put him in the right wing back, so he will understand the consequences of the forward player when he does something that he does. That's just it's not a bad thing. It's just to improve Joe. That's all it is. People need to stop saying that he was cursed. That's why he put him on as a fullback. He didn't put him over there just to punish them. He put him over there for him to understand the role, what he's going to do in his future. That there's a players behind him relying on him. That's all it is. You
But
need to stop that
you know,
little drama.
let me add something to what you're saying. God, let me
Just before you
let
do
me
that, Fitmus, just for you to Lanray says Cho's game is not matured yet to play for Chelsea. Still developing, so I hear you on that. Josh also says Fatter is worldwide. Man made US TV once again. Fuck it, every single time this guy's on
yo.
camera. But go on, Vitmus, go.
stop
Let me ask
sipping
you
your
this.
drink, bro. Screw you.
What people need to understand, what I need people to understand coming from me, I don't have an agenda against Colum Hudson-Odoi, and I don't have an agenda against Pulisic. I just want people to understand that the level of expectation that I expect for playing for Chelsea is not just putting on a blue shirt and going out there and say, oh yeah, I'm getting a few £1,000 per week, so I can go out there and just do what I want until they want to sell me or till I'm playing that well that I'm in form every week. Bro, I'm not pressuring Hudson-Odoi because he's only young, and he's been a part of the team, and yeah, he has injured and he's just coming back trying to get it back. But bro, he needs to improve. And again, one game is for me, coming from me, I've only seen him played one good game, and that was yesterday. The other games was, oh yeah, he's up here now, then he's back down there in the next minute. That's the best game I've seen
Guys,
outside played
can I just ask?
in games, in years, I would say, too. If
That's
I'm being honest.
Vitmus, sorry. Like, let me ask this question because this is what I'm trying to understand with people when they say that. You know, like the whole drop-off thing that people speak about, right? What's the expectation here in terms of a 90-minute game? What do you expect a player to do in a 90-minute game? For the whole 90 minutes to have the same intensity, or is it the fact that you want him to have an influence in the game? What is it? I'm just trying to understand this part.
No, listen. What guy people need to understand? This is not the Premier, what you call it, championship. This is not League 3 or League 4 or the bro. This is the Premier League, the most watched football league in the world, brother. This is not Brentford. This is not Norwich. This is not Southampton. This is Chelsea we're talking about. 2-time winning Champions League team. Brother, as a manager, if I look at you more and you are a freaking winger, but the system I'm playing, I would love for you to play wing back. If you don't want to play there, you don't want to prove to me that you're a professional football player by picking up an opportunity that I've given you to play. If you don't want to play, then what do you think is going to happen? Bro, good players adapt to whatever their manager asks them to do. Managers like
Yeah, but
players that can play
how,
anywhere on
how
the
does a
pitch.
player adapt?
And he did. And he did
How
adapt.
does a player adapt? How does a
What?
player adapt when consistently what happens with him is either he's played out of position or he's not given enough minutes to actually
No,
get
of
things.
course.
Because let me
He
give you
was
an
the right
example.
wing back. He
Let me
was the
let me
man
give
Tuchel
let me
wanted to play
let me
wing
give you
back.
an example, brother. Okay, the example I'm going to give you is this, right? I love Mason Mount, but one of the best things I've loved about Mason Mount is we've given him the opportunities to go through the cycle of going up and down. Some people may have argued with us, with managers, or argued with other fans of Chelsea, saying that this guy doesn't deserve the minutes. Take him off. Do this. Do that. But guess what? One thing he's benefited from by having this game time, all he's learned is to level up. The fact of the matter is, players can't level up if all you keep doing is chopping and changing situations, and then every single time you put them in situations that aren't to the benefit and complementary of their best assets, you always keep honing on about the things that they were already not going to be good at because they're not familiar with the role. That to me makes no sense. When I look at Mason Mount, if somebody right now argues with me and says Mason Mount has not improved since he's come and joined Chelsea, I'll be like, cool, you don't watch football. It is what it is. That's fair enough. I'll take it for what it is. But the fact of the matter is, when I watch show, the talent is there. Earlier on, and Justice said one thing about, he said he's always had expectancy for this player, and like he's always made that clear to the player about maybe what he says to him behind the scenes and stuff. By saying what he said, what I like about it, I'll explain this to you right now, right? He played a game yesterday. I think Tuchel already knew that he was going to have a good game. So what did he do? He said, I want consistency. I don't care what you do in these games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I want the long term, and I want you to assess yourself as a player that can do this on the long term. The reason why I like this is simply because it starts to play at the player's mind so that complacency is not something that is in their mind. Players like this can sometimes have complacency. Why? Because their talent is that good that sometimes they think, I'll be in the team and I don't need to try as hard, especially when they're young. So with me, when I look at Cho, I'm like, give him a fair chance at his best position. But also when you're giving him these chances, be fair with your expectations of the player. Playing him at right wing back and expecting what you lot are expecting sometimes really frustrates me because I'm like, you know, he's not familiar with the role. Chilwell's wasn't familiar with the left wing back role, and people didn't adjust their expectation. Instead, people just said, "No, Alonso can play," but then are ignoring all the things that Alonso brings with us in terms of baggage and nuisance that we have to deal with as an actual gate as a system. And the fact of the matter is, people just keep forgetting that these players are young. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to learn in game, not in just training. Please
Bro,
understand what I mean.
Yeah, but with Cho's not a right wing. He's not a right wing back. Yeah, so with Chilwell and James, for example, they're already defensive players. So for them, it's an easier adjustment. For Cho, it's completely out of his territory. So yeah, you're right in saying that, Mo, and that you can't expect him to bring the minerals he brings when he's up in the left hand side up top when he's in right wing back position, because it's very hard for him to do that because his responsibilities and duties change.
but
Do you know what I'm
So,
saying?
so I just want to wrap this up because we spent 40 minutes on the player that wasn't man of the match and wasn't even the second best player. Maybe some people would say third or fourth best player.
Did he play well?
So,
Did he play well?
You gotta admit he played well.
did you see my review yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, go watch my review. I gave him an 8 out of 10.
So you think he played well?
Okay.
You don't get an 8 out of 10 for playing horribly.
I just want to hear you say he played well. That's
just
all I want.
I want to hear it too.
We ain't gonna say the word,
Good.
guys.
Okay,
That's what we want to hear.
is that
Cool.
so? Just to wrap all of the Callum talk up, if we continue to say, well, he needs to be played in his best position, a lot of players are not played in their best position. Now, I'm not talking about playing him at wing back. What happens if there's a slot at the right attacking? You don't want to see him play in the right attacking position.
I think he can play well there. He's proven that in the Chelsea track.
No, up top he's fine. Up top he's fine. He right or left.
One last question: when everybody's fit, is he going to start over them?
No.
If he's performing how he's performing now, then yeah.
That's all I wanted to hear.
But this has always been my thing with Cho. He played well against Malmo. He played well yesterday. If we go and play, who we got next week? Newcastle. Cho starts and he has a poor game, he will be taken out of the side. And I'm fine with that if that's the standards that we set at Chelsea Football Club. But don't let me watch other players play horrible for 3 weeks in a row and then never taken out of the side. That's my point.
What player are you referring to?
I'm not going to dig out other players.
Come on. Who is it?
I'm sorry, I tried to bait you. I apologize.
I don't want to dig out anyone else because then people go, "Oh, Cho fans always talk about Pulisic." I'm not talking about no one else. I'm just saying the standards of Chelsea Football Club. We expect top level performances from our forwards. And Jesse, you yourself said a couple of weeks ago, you expect output from your forwards. So if the other forwards ain't giving us output, then surely he should be back in the rotation and playing the week after. But we'll see.
I don't think Newcastle will show me how good Cho is. I don't think Newcastle game will show me that.
Well, I mean, if you're going to beat teams 6-7 nils, 4 nils, and choosing that team, then something's going very, very right. So why would you change that?
No, well, we're not going to change it because we don't have a choice at this point.
No, but if you're performing, if the team's going to perform at Newcastle and all the other games, while Pulisic is still coming back, while Werner's still coming back, right? Then Cho's got every right to be in that lineup because he's performing.
I'm not even talking about Pulisic. I'm talking about Timo Werner, Lukaku.
Yeah, but Lukaku doesn't affect Cho. It's more Werner.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He does affect Cho because it's just another attacker. We have 3 attackers. He takes.
Yeah, but he's a central attacker. He's a central attacker. He's not on the left or right. Is he?
Affect him. Lukaku plays down the middle, so Cho is more like Werner or Pulisic would be.
That gives you more attacking choices, though, is what I'm saying. That because you have if Lukaku's playing center, then you have Havertz who can play one side of the other.
Havertz won't play on, but he is the backup number 9. And we've already seen Havertz this season when he's played wide, as in he's played one of the 2 10s.
But I'm saying it's an option. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the more attackers you have, the more you have to go, okay, well, how do I rank these attackers? And we've already seen how Thomas Tuchel rates his attackers by the minutes they get on the pitch.
Yeah, but my point is, if Cho's balling out and he's performing at the high level, all right, and he continues to elevate from where he is now, by the time Pulisic and Werner get fit and get a sniff to get in the game, I don't see them taking his place.
Yeah,
I don't see him after the Newcastle. We have who do we have? Like in the Premier League, is it West Ham?
Burnley.
Burnley. Even after, like, for example, that's just what I think. If Timo Werner and Pulisic will not get fit before the West Ham, I don't think he and Cho will play all these games up until then, and if they get fit, I bet you money Cho will not start against West Ham.
Depends how he plays.
He will need rest. Every player needs a bit of rest.
Well, Johnny, you know what I'm saying.
If he plays well,
the soon as the 2 players are gonna get fit, like Pulisic and Timo Werner and stuff like that, the show will gonna be dropped. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think they'll rotate.
That depends on his form. If Hudson-Odoi balls out in the next 3 games, I don't think Tuchel drops him.
No, he doesn't.
He can't drop him.
He can.
If a player's on form,
Hudson-Odoi has to hand in a transfer request for next week.
Yeah, because you got to remember we've not been on form. We haven't really hit our fullest potential yet, and we're still top of the league and winning games. But I think once players do start hitting form, you want to keep those players in your starting lineup. I mean, this is just an obvious decision. But if Pulisic comes in the game and he balls out after adjusting from injury, then Tuchel's got some questions. I think it's just down to the opposition and who you're playing, who gets picked. That's how Tuchel will always be. He's a tinker, isn't he?
So just so we know on schedule, we have Newcastle next week, then we have Burnley the following week, and then we go on internationals.
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
it's Leicester and Man United.
Then it's Leicester and Man United. So, yeah, so that's what's coming up.
That's what I'm saying. How Cho is gonna perform before the Leicester game, it will determine if he's gonna be a start in the lineup. That's what I was trying to say.
Still can't believe we spent 47 minutes on
But
somebody.
then you got to look at Havertz as well. If Havertz is going to ball out, if Havertz balls out, then Lukaku's got to fight in, doesn't he? He's got to fight for his position.
Lukaku's going to walk right back in the team. Let's be correct.
Cool. We don't need to go on show anymore. We can talk about our hat-trick hero. I'm all here for
it. We can talk about the damn fucking minerals,
absolutely battering Norwich and putting them in a pack. Johnny, as always, like I know it was a perfect game to meet you for this one as well. Like the positivity was off the chain, man. But Mason Mount, man, all the slander that you've got over the last week, chat to me, man. What was your thoughts on this performance?
Well, I think all the haters are in the mud, and I think you call him Monopoly Mount, certain people, yeah. Well, he's just monopolised that game yesterday completely and bagged it with a hat trick. You know what I'm saying? There you go. So at the end of the day, I think he's bagged his 3 goals. He got an assist with Reece James as well to give a little cherry on the cake. You know what I'm saying? And he's just a baller. He's a baller, and he's irreplaceable. He's undroppable. He's so important to the way Chelsea play that I think the ones that don't rate him or have an agenda against him, you're in the mud as usual. And the longer you stay with your agendas, the longer you'll be in the mud for and look like a donut. So it's not a problem for me. I'm loving it because at the end of the day, I know how much of a baller he is and how good he is. And he deserved that. That's his first hat-trick at home. The boy's lived his dream. He's always dreamt of scoring a hat-trick at home, and he's done it. And Johnny got to witness that, bruv. I got to see that outside of the box shot. Outside of the box goal. Name me one midfielder in our side that scores from outside the box.
Barkley.
No, he doesn't. When's he scored outside the box?
Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
When's Ruben scored for us outside the box?
Regin, stop.
He doesn't do it now.
Anyway, yeah, let's do it.
Exactly. We might as well move on from that.
2 months later, and we hear on BBC there's an older man being arrested for stalking outside the house of Mason Mount with the binoculars.
Nah, bruv. Money Mace knows Johnny, bruv. Don't worry about that, mate.
I saw you, man. I saw you. Money Mice, he didn't even pay attention to you, my man.
He's all good, bruv. He's gravy, man. I went up to Cho as well.
I went
up to Cho. I got him to draw his window down. I said to him, listen, bruv, you're a star boy. You got the minerals. Keep working hard and you'll get your chance. He said to me, thanks, bro. Do you know what I mean? And I spudded the geezer because he needs these players are young. They need support. They watch a lot of the social platform. They see Twitter. They see the slander, bruv. So if you're one of those people slandering, you know what I mean, you need to look at yourselves and actually back your players. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Being a fan and a supporter is supporting your players, believing in your players. That's the most important thing for these kids because that's how that gives them motivation to perform.
That's why I started the stream as well, saying like, I don't care if it was Norwich. We battered them. We battered the team that we were facing right in front of us. And we made a statement out of them as well. I don't care if they're at the bottom of the Premier League because these are the sort of games that we've struggled in recent years. The bottom 5 used to love playing Chelsea because these are the games we fall apart in. Now, we're making these games count and we're making big statements. That's 7 goals added to our goal difference as well. And when was the last time we ever scored 7 against an opposition?
And also, how many times have we gone... they've gone. The opposition's gone a man down, and we end up keeping the same scoreline. We don't go and kill the game and murder the game, and we did that. We did that yesterday, and that was great to see. I mean, to witness 7 goals in a game. Yes, it's Norwich, but at the end of the day, you still need to put the ball in there. We still apparently don't create enough, and we don't take our chances, and we did. And we've got a front line that was pressing from the front. Our movement was great. We had pace. Mason Mount was just sublime. Fucking absolute baller. was just pure class in that game. And the thing is, he'll put in a performance like this, and yet people will still find criticism, or they'll go, "Oh, he needs to keep it up," and it's that. Well, he's been doing it since he's played for Chelsea. He's only improving and improving, and he'll forever be putting you lot in the mud. And that's what it's about. It's elite mentality, and that's why Cho's got that mentality, because he could have left. He could have gone on loan, or he could have requested to be sold, and he says, "No, I want to fight for my place, even though I might play right wing back. I want to fight for my place. I want to show how good I am." And you have to respect that.
But Johnny, I think Cho wanted to leave, to be honest. I don't think he wanted to stay, you know. So
No, he did. He wanted to stay. He wanted to stay.
I can't lie.
Nah, he wanted to leave.
On loan to Dortmund.
He wanted to
Just to get more game time. It's fair enough.
No, but it's fair as well. I wanted him to go on loan too.
It is fair, of course.
He needed to go on loan.
He had a great game yesterday. And you can tell he's learning now. He's adapting his skill set to the game and to his teammates and Tuchel, and that's all you want to see from him, and be effective. And Kai Havertz again, all right, his hold up wasn't the best, but his movement, his pressing, all these other things that he offers allowed us to play the way we did. And a shout out to Reece James, because he's just unbelievable. His first touch in situations under pressure, the finish that he made for a right back or right centre back is just different class. That guy is an absolute beast.
Reece James was one of the players as well. I've always said that should be a part of the team and not go on loan, not be sold. And a couple months ago, people was talking about buying Hakimi and getting other right. I'm like, why you want another right wing back content for like a starter, like when you have Reece James, and we need a better right wing back. Reece James has not gotten enough time to.
No, Reece James he's now. Right wing back put him on the Mason Mount level of you can't drop this kid. Like he's too good. He's that important for our team.
Well, drop Reece James, brother.
I had a lot of people say that we need to buy Livramento back. It's like, why would you buy
as a backup, but not as a first.
No, he's not coming back as a backup. Not for £40 million. That's the buyback clause on him. He's not coming back for that. And
can I say one more thing? Yeah, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
All right, I watched Match of the Day last night. Yeah, I watched it and I was waiting. I was waiting for the campaign and agenda against Chelsea, and it landed on a silver platter last night. Because if Foden, Fernandes, Pogba, fucking Grealish, any of them guys scored a hat-trick, you wouldn't hear the fucking end of it. When it's Mason Mount, we'll quickly talk about Reece James and then we'll duck out to the next game. That's how it was.
I didn't watch.
So that's the agenda, bro.
About Norwich's mistakes instead of how well we played. But I don't watch.
Exactly. It's a joke, bro.
Did you?
Joke.
I don't know if anybody picked this up. This is not a Chelsea game, but in the Newcastle Palace game.
Yeah.
Did you see the non-foul that was called for the winning goal?
Yeah,
there was no foul there.
What was it? Didn't Mark Gay grab the Newcastle?
Yeah, he pulled his shirt.
You know how many times that stuff is not called?
But not when it's that obvious, bro. Like it was so damn obvious.
I think the reason why was because Gay was grabbing the shirt behind him, and he was the guy who was going to be in the 50-50 with Benteke. So that's probably why, because it led up to the goal. If it was just a random shirt pulling on the other side of the box, I doubt they call it him.
To me, that's just, Newcastle money confirmed.
VAR's going to fuck us next week then.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go back to that game.
About backing players.
I want to ask a question, actually. I want to ask a question. So for me, when I watched the game, before Mount scored his two other goals, for me, he was man of the match. I want to ask the question: who was your man of the match? Not just because he got the hat trick.
No man, a young Mason and my man of the match, man.
Mason was the best player in the first half and the second half. So
the goal,
if it's not Mount, I'm going for one of Jorginho or Kovacic.
Well, Kovacic was the second best player.
Kovacic's second best player.
Kovacic was, for me, was the best before Mount. Kovacic was spinning that midfield.
Yeah, but I still had Mount. I still had Mount.
Players improved so well.
It's actually really tight. Mount and Kovacic were neck and neck in the first. Mount was
who else I thought was
Mount was unbelievable for whole 90 minutes. So
yeah, he was.
Even the first half,
hard.
Even
It's
though
hard.
Kovacic was having a good game, I think Mount stood out by the goal and the assist what he gave to Reece. So
I was going to mention.
But that's the second half, right? Or first?
No, first half
was so good. And Reece James was amazing too. I know he didn't have much defending to do.
Yeah, Reece James was unreal.
Whenever he did,
our whole team was just unbelievable.
So comfortable, so good. Like
we had the best
so many
fullbacks
great
in the league.
performances in that game, though.
Yeah,
there's
everyone was
fullbacks.
good.
There's the two midfielders. There's Mason
Mendy,
Mount and
save.
Hudson-Odoi up top. Edouard Mendy, Thiago Silva. Big up JJ Bridge saying Moa Oscar are related to Cho. Confirmed. Big up. GoM also says minerals from Ballon Boy. I like that Scottish chimney sweeping bastard who ghosted for Norwich. Disgusting performance and not Chelsea level in my opinion. I love how you found a way to prop Mason Mount and still try and trigger Johnny, but big up yourself, bro. Overall, brilliant performance. In the midfield, you had Mateo Kovacic. We've already said forward play was brilliant there, and it's been brilliant for the majority of this season as well. Jorginho had an amazing first half, most touches, most passes in the final third, and the most duels before being taken off early. Like overall, like everybody, I think the only downside from the game was that Havertz got snuffed out a little bit. That's the only thing where I think
that was
Norwich
my plan, though.
It was more his hold up, to be honest.
He was a decoy. It was planned. Because, first of all, Thomas knows Daniel Fark. You were playing a back three, and Hanley was going to man mark Havertz. And so he just used Havertz. He just used Havertz all over the field to pull him out and have that space in there. That's what Havertz gives you when he plays that position. Because Thomas uses Havertz like that, but he doesn't use Lukaku like that.
I thought Lukaku focused more of their play centrally, which is why Havertz struggled in the game. But I don't think he played badly. I just think like if they dealt with anyone well, they dealt with Kai Havertz. It's just
my question is: do they play well like that if Lukaku's instead of Havertz?
They can do. It's just at the minute, no.
I think Lukaku would have bullied their defenders. They're a horrible team. I mean, they're just absolutely terrible.
Even Ziyech got a goal of contribution with them.
The thing is, at his best, Lukaku can do what Havertz did in this game, apart from the pressing. The pressing is the only thing. It's just we haven't really seen it click with Lukaku in a chemistry sort of way with the rest of the team.
Yeah. That's my point. If the pressing game is why we were so good, I think that's why we were so fluid.
Pressing doesn't always have to be the be all and end all. It's like you can defend well in other ways, like you can cut passing lanes or you can press just in stages like with triggers, and Lukaku can do that. It's just, again, in terms of the attacking and the link-up play, that's where we haven't seen Lukaku at his best, because like the moving into channels, he does that for Belgium all the time, and he's been doing it for us a bit as well. It's just the other stuff we haven't seen because of the chemistry sort of stuff, the chemistry side.
We need that chemistry, mate, because you know what I'm saying, the longer it doesn't come, the more problems we're going to have.
No, but also, like, look at the privilege we have, guys. Like, we really, like, yesterday, we had no Christensen, no N'Golo Kante, no Werner, no Lukaku, and we still managed to score 7 goals. And the way I look at it is, sometimes the things that we argue about is actually so minuscule, because I'm like, there's other teams that have to deal with just having a first 11.
We've got the best squad, Mo. That's why.
Yeah. And it's nice, bro, because look at the differences that they bring to the table when you take a player out and you put in another player. There's something different that they can bring to the table. The one thing that has to happen, I think, which I agree with what you lot are saying, Lukaku just needs to get on the same page about how we press. And if he understands that, I generally feel like we will appreciate him more. Because let's be frankly honest, we're at the moment, to me, yesterday, what it showed me is like we also struggle to create for Hudson in the way we struggled for Lukaku. And that, to me, is something that is hand in hand at the moment. But that's fine. Like, as long as other players can contribute, like, we've got 17 different goal scorers, guys. That, to me, is magic. You understand how many years Eden Hazard had to carry us?
That is minerals, bro.
And flipping and Diego Costa. Like, to me, I'm sorry, but the way I look at it right now, I'm like, I am so happy that we have a system, a squad, and a manager that is so flexible to this extent that we are all about contributing for each other
Can I,
as a team.
can I
We're
say
going to be
something?
able to
What
compete
you
with
said more.
these big ass teams.
Like
Oh,
like
yeah.
everything you just said, I agree with you. But you see, the system that we have been playing with Tuchel, it doesn't support a striker. That's the
I
biggest
disagree.
thing for me. Even with Lampard playing that 4-3-3,
Yeah, I do agree
a
with that,
cross
Litmus.
three midfielder instead of a triangular midfield, it doesn't help the striker. If you look at the 3-4-3, it worked for us with Conte because we had a Eden Hazard who could dribble on the ball, create space, and make that decisive pass or link up well with Diego Costa, etc. Playing in this system when we're depending on the 11 players out there, not an individual player like Hazard, it's going to take more from the players. Because Lukaku, I don't care, Lukaku and Havertz, whosoever plays at that centre forward position, even if we are Holland, we are struggling to find the correct mineral to link with them to create more minerals. We're still going wide. We're not going through the middle. We're not trying to link up with the strikers. The strikers are dead in this system. The wingers are getting and the wing backs are getting more opportunities at goal than our strikers. Look at it.
I
Yeah,
can
the
ex-
wing backs are very important to the way we play.
Yeah,
So
but
let
when
me,
you got Chile and James,
creating,
you're a lot more equipped. You're more
bro.
equipped to attack better.
The Brentford game, Lukaku got one chance, and I
yeah,
couldn't even like be mad when he kicked it over the crossbar.
yeah,
The strikers should be getting like 3-4 chances per
He was
game.
offside anyway, to be fair.
No,
yeah,
no,
it was,
yeah, he was offside, but at
but he
least put it
picked
in the
that,
back
yeah.
of the net. But I'm not arguing with him. I'm not going having a go at him. That's fine. But they're not getting any chances. They're not getting like 4 or 5 chances a game. It's we're winning, yeah, it's fine. But our strikers are just getting one chance per game, one
Bro,
or none.
bro, do you know what it comes down to though?
I
Like,
hate.
this is why I think it's so easy to blame the system, guys. But we've seen different systems and have the same problem still again.
Yeah.
I
No,
generally feel
because
like
we're not playing with a cam, bro. We're not using a cam.
You don't have to
That's
play
where
with a
you
Havertz
don't
would
have to.
flourish
That's what I'm
You don't
trying
behind
to
the
have
say,
to play
bro.
with
striker.
a
You don't
10.
We're
have
not
It's
using
about,
any
can you
cams.
find creativity? Can you find creativity in other areas? Look at Liverpool for a perfect example of that.
I think we should hold off on this debate until everybody's healthy and have had a chance to play together.
no, do you know what the thing is though? Like, Chester, I agree with you. But do you know what I don't like? Is every single time something doesn't work, we go back to the system conversation.
Bro,
Guys, I don't understand.
I'm
I
not,
really don't
bro.
understand.
We've won the Champions League with this system. We're at the top of the Premier League with this system. I'm happy where we are. But if
Yeah, I
you
don't
are
want to change the
okay
system.
with your strikers not getting 2 or 3 chances, even 4 or 5 chances per game, then you're joking, bro.
But
No,
just look, just
you
look at
spent 100 million to bring Lukaku in, and you're not giving him any balls to try to score.
it's
Come
because
on,
we're being predictable, bro. When you play an
we
Aspilicueta and
mean
a Alonso, right? Look
no,
at what
bro.
they do on the pitch, bro. Look, this is what I try to
No,
tell
no, no,
people
no,
all the
no,
time,
no.
bro. Listen, right? Look at with the players that play together and look at the habits that they have when they have certain types of players playing on the same pitch as them. They see a
Uh,
Lukaku, they try to cross the ball. They try to make it so obvious that what we're going to do is going
But
to be the
they
same thing
are
over
wing
and over
backs,
again.
bro. That's their job. Why are you
No, it's
shaking heads
not.
like that's
No,
not
It's
their
not
it's
just,
job?
not.
it's
I'm
not.
telling
They're
And
you.
wing backs.
Aspie's not a natural wing back, and it's not just the job of a wing back to cross all the time. Like you
No,
have to
it's
No,
be,
not, bro. You
you
need
have
to
to
no,
play
no,
be
no.
football,
adapt.
bro. You can
Um,
tell which players are passengers,
yeah.
man. And
Well,
I watch
the,
this all the time, bro.
Bro,
the harmony
I
didn't
ain't gonna
last
take the
long.
passenger thing, bro. We need to talk football
No
and
chance.
stop like taking it for a joke, bro. Luke, what's his name? Aspilicueta. Yeah, he's not a natural right wing back or whatever, but he still can put a good cross in. He still can. Look at the goal that Lukaku scored against. Who did he score that goal against? Was it Aston Villa? Where
Villa.
Aspi cut inside and
Yeah,
then played a lovely ball inside and Lukaku got a shot
I
off
think he was
goal.
playing center back, wasn't he?
Yeah, I
Exactly,
think
but he's
Oh,
coming from the right.
so.
You get
yeah,
me?
yeah.
So we're not linking up play. We did it against Arsenal. Yeah, we were finding Lukaku, putting balls at his foot for him to turn the defenders to get shots off. But how many games have Chelsea been playing like that? We need. I don't. I'm not.
Bro,
I'm not go at Tuchel,
Fitments,
but
I'm
the
never going to argue
system
with you,
still
bro.
needs to be
Just watch
changed.
the habits of our players when certain players play, and you'll see what I'm talking about eventually. I'm telling you that right now. It's the habits, bro. I have watched these players do the same thing for years now, and I've said it. They no longer complement what we're trying to do. We need to be dynamic. We need to be more free. We need to hold ourselves accountable, and we need to stop being passengers in a team. When you have passengers and when you have players that are limited in capability, they show themselves, bro, and that's exactly what keeps happening.
We have
And I
limited
pray to
players.
God, when this
No,
shit
but-
clicks, people
But
see what I'm talking
the
about.
players most talking about, to be predictable, you have to be world class and like one of the very best in the world at doing that predictable thing. Like look at Robin, look at like if you want a more current example, look at Trent. He is probably the most predictable fullback in the world, but it's because his delivery is second to none. Like it's second to none. So he's able to be predictable because like 9 times out of 10 it comes off. We haven't got the wing backs to the same level in terms of going forward where they can afford to be predictable in terms of Aspi and Alonso. Chilwell and Reece is a bit different. But with Aspi and Alonso, it's the same thing. It's when they're predictable, they're not at the level where that predictability is going to work all the time. Sooner or later, people figure it out.
I don't think you guys like kind of understand what I'm trying to say. We are talking about predictable, but we're still talking about wing backs that are defensive and both attacking players that supposed to go forward and back. That's still depending on the flanks. We're not creating anything from the middle. If you put the formation on a sheet and put it out like make dots and say 3-3-3, 1-2-3-4, 1-2-3, two midfielders there, Jorginho, Kovacic, they're always deep. Who's connecting play to the strikers? That's what
I understand what
I'm saying.
Bitmus
They're
is
still
saying.
going wide. They're still going wide. There's
But what
no
are you relating it
two
to?
play.
Are you relating that's predictable? Is that what you're saying? You're
No,
relating it
no. What he's saying is if you had a Cam in the middle there, he would be the one leaking up the offense to the defense.
No, I get that. Yeah.
So if somebody then puts their game against us as they now shut down that Cam, does that mean we stop play now because we've gotten used to that Cam?
We do that, but see, Man City and all the big teams, they will actually press our two midfielders to shut down the way we play. If you saw Man City, all you have to do is turn Jorginho into a DM and not a Regista, where he has a the big thing that Norwich didn't do yesterday is to press our midfield. They had all this time and space to pick their head up and pick out passes. If you take that away from us, then you have to play the ball out wide or have one of the attackers drop in to become that extra midfielder to pick up the ball and transition from defense to offense. That's what Vitmus is saying. We don't have that.
Uncle. Thank you, Uncle Jesters.
No, I try, man. I try. You know, I'm not on your level.
That's
though,
just
bro.
a system we play. We don't just have that.
What I'm not understanding is, guys, like when it comes to this, right? I look at our team overall play, right? That Man City game that everyone likes to talk about, I said we lost it because, and the Juventus game for me was pretty much alike, is they pressed the hell out of our midfield. The middle was so congested. So guess who's going to get more of the ball, guys? The people that are on the white. Guess what? Those people were so much pussies in that game that generally speaking, all they did was pass it back into the middle to put more pressure on those players to now deal with that pressure. To me, this is what I mean by people that don't hold themselves accountable in games, because your team needs you. Every time people talk about our system, they talk about our system in the most ideal scenarios. Teams are going to learn about us and teams are going to try and counteract us. When that happens, players need to take accountability on the pitch. The manager cannot teach you what you do on that moment. What you need to do, you as a player, as a footballer, are going to have to come up with solutions that allow your team to function better.
No, the manager have it all to do. He's the manager, bro. He's the one seeing.
The manager can set you up, but he can't
tell the players what.
He can't teach you the
said that
solution.
in interviews before. He said he can set up a system and he can set it up to be perfect for you to do everything bar the final thing. If you can't do the final thing, that's on you. He can't tell you how to do or how to pass.
But he has to change systems if it's not going right. Right.
He has made an adjustment.
Aspilicueta, like if he's played the same way he's been here how many years now? 10 years. He's played the exact same way.
Correct.
So he's not going to change. So if they're pressing him and he can't keep the ball on the wing, change the system like he's doing now. We're seeing him doing it now.
He
right?
didn't change
he changes
the
it and he puts he changed. Well, he changed his tactics. The same formation, but it's different tactics.
Right.
Let me ask. Can I ask the panel a question?
All he's done is inverted the wing backs.
That's what he's done. That
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah, but see,
That
when
is
you're
good.
going out wide, he has more trust, and it seems pretty simple now when you're thinking
Let,
about it. He has more
can
trust
ask
in
can
Mason
I ask the
Mount
panel a question?
picking up the ball.
Sure.
Hold on, he has more trust in Mason Mount picking up the ball out wide and doing something with it than if he's pressed, then Aspie doing that.
And the
But
only
if
way he can play
Aspie's picking up
inverted
up
wing
there, he doesn't
backs
know what to do.
is the only way he can play inverted wing backs is if he's got Reece James and Chile. I don't think Aspie and Alonso are as
Nah,
good
he can play with it
at that.
as well.
Aspie did it
I
against
don't think he's
Malmo.
as good though.
He can
Oh,
definitely.
he's not as good, but he
Can
did
do
it.
it. My issue is Alonso. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll name the guy that I don't like on our team, bro. It's Alonso. I'm not gonna lie to nobody,
Listen,
bro.
before-
Aspie has done much more for me than
Listen.
Alonso has.
More.
People will say everything they want about Alonso, but Alonso for me is a problem. He's the enemy of our progress, guys.
No.
I'll
Oh,
say
he's a baller, Mo. He's a baller.
No.
no.
This is what
That's
I'm
it.
saying
Bolo.
about backing. You
Someone
guys say
said
about
that,
backing
innit?
I'll
players.
say it, bro. I'll
No.
say it.
You're
I
not,
agree with that
you're
person
not
as
being
well, innit?
honest, Mo.
But
You're
someone
not
said
being
that.
honest.
He
Man
plays
went
3
off
good games
camera to
this
say
season.
something.
Bro, don't
Sorry,
contradict
who was
yourself,
that?
Don't
So-
contradict yourself,
Yeah.
brother. When
You got 12 minutes. You
Lewis
just got to leave in 12 minutes.
is one of the
I'll go
biggest
another
people
20. Fuck it.
who always like cut Alonso's throat clean. But since Alonso have been playing the last 4 or 5 games where we have done well, Lewis has said, yo, Alonso, yo, do him thing. Yeah, respect that he's playing well. You can't be saying Alonso is still a problem when he's not. He's not.
He's just not consistent.
No,
though.
I
He
can
does it every
credit
season.
him when he plays
I'm
well,
sorry, bro. He's
but you still
incompatible
know
as
what
credit
he's
when it's
capable
true.
of.
The
You
problem,
still
Exactly.
know what he's capable of, regardless. I know it's just form. Like,
I think the
you
problem
know
with
what their
Alonso,
main
I'm more
ability
gonna
is
deal
going to
with
be.
man.
Like,
I'm more
the problem I have
he's
with
gonna be at
Alonso,
the funeral later.
the problem I have
Bro.
with Alonso is when he's good, he is very good. But like, there's no middle ground. When he's bad, he's just a detriment to the team. Like, there's no middle ground. Whereas like someone like a Chilwell, even if he has an average game, there's still like a decent level. He'll still do quite well in the game, even if it's
KDB,
average.
yeah.
Same with Reece James. Whereas Alonso, like, there's no middle ground. Like, you look at the Malmo game, he comes on and it was like I know we were 4-0 up at that point, I think, but
Yeah.
it just like it completely just like it just the level dropped. Like, we just shut down. Like, you could tell we were just trying to see the game out with Alonso.
I think Alonso
No.
might go in January if Inter come up with a big enough.
No one.
We were trying to
I
get rid of
beg
him in the
to buy him,
summer.
Yeah.
Inter
We've been trying to get
are
rid of him for
looking
3
at
years
him.
at least.
Yeah, Inter are looking at to bring him in, which
They
would
don't
be
need him.
perfect.
They said that 2 seasons. I beg they did it this season.
Bro, they
Although
don't
we
need
don't
him.
have
Yeah.
another left wing back in the
Exactly.
system
Oh,
to bring
I feel we
in.
might as well. I feel we keep him. He's a fantastic backup wing back. If we
They've
need him, we
got
can play
two.
them.
They've
I
got two.
can't believe in
impacts.
2021, guys, we have people defending Alonso. It is what it is. though.
No. Alonso's not a starter, but he can play those cup games. Who's
Yeah,
the
but
fuck
you
cares?
have
He
to
can
have
start
depth
that.
in the team. What happens if Chile gets hurt? Who you can play then? If you don't have Alonso on the team, who do you play?
I mean, bro, I hate Alonso, but
think that's the point, though. I
he's
think
a
his
good
point is
second.
more that Alonso shouldn't be starting those big games. 'Cause
I agree, and I don't think he will.
Yeah,
Now that Chile's on form.
We started about talking about the Man City game. That was Mo's point, and then Juventus as well. Alonso started both of those games, and it hindered us a little bit in terms of how we progressed from that left side.
I agree. Alonso is not
Come on,
ideal,
Inter,
but
bro.
he's better than any most people's backup.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna say it, but I think Tuchel has been one of the best managers we have had in years. Like, he's really done it. Game management, he said it. Chilwell wasn't ready because he talked to him and he was a bit down about not playing in the Euros, not even getting a minute. That's why Alonso was playing all those games. Yeah, it hurt us, but Chilwell just wasn't ready, and he gave Chilwell his chance, and he took it. That's what I'm saying about giving players a chance. Bro, this is the top level football, bro. If you get an opportunity by the manager, you have to grab it by its neck. If I'm the manager and I give you an opportunity and you show me that you're not ready, well, the next time I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna think twice about, I gave him a chance the last time, he didn't want it. So
You
he
want
has to
you want a
look
perfect
again.
example of that? Look at Ruben.
Exactly. Huh?
I said, if you want a perfect example of that, look at Ruben.
Exactly.
Guy was like 5th choice midfielder. He was meant to go out on loan, and now he's probably.
And whoever said
third, so.
Trevor as well, yeah, that was.
And also, don't forget, he used to be our 5th choice centre back a year ago. Now look,
No,
Was
but you know, say, to be honest, me not gonna lie, you know. You
That
know,
raises
Christensen always have the potential. Him just never really have Tuchel get the best out of him. Christian was always, even from the Conte era, Christian's always had potential, but he just didn't prove it until now. I've
Well,
always loved Christiansen, but
he was good over 1 year with Conte, wasn't he? When he's playing
Yeah,
center back, he
17,
was
18,
good.
when we first joined, like, he was ridiculous in that back three. Same thing as now.
He was just never strong. That's it. And then Tuchel just developed him just to be a
Yeah, but
stronger
he was
centre
a
back.
kid.
And elevated him.
and
Yeah,
then
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. He developed, and now look at it. That's what I'm saying.
Somebody in the comments said something earlier about we don't have a playmaker if we're going to play a cam in the team. Bro, we have ZH. ZH can definitely be a playmaker. He's a playmaker. He's not a winger. We use him in that front three. Yeah, but he's not a winger. He doesn't have the pace to burst and try to beat 2-3 men down the line before putting across. He's not gonna give that to you. Yes, he played a few games early in the season, got a few goals, but come on, if he was playing in a cam behind a striker, he would be one of the most deadliest cams in the Premier League with his talent. Kai Havertz is also a cam as well. That's where he did his best at Leverkusen, playing behind the striker, running off the
But
striker.
Vitmus, when he
Players.
plays in the two behind the striker, you don't see it.
No, who plays the two behind striker?
When Ziyech plays in the two behind the striker, you don't see any
No, but
of
he
that
has to go wide.
cam
That's where he
anything.
goes.
Like
That's where the manager asks him to go wide, so he can
no,
hold
when
the
he's
ball.
playing the role in the system that he was doing with when he came in from Mason Mount, he was dropping in as well, basically playing as a midfield three at times.
No,
Because that's the
What's the
role that
game on
Mount was
Sky
doing.
Sports?
He was just poor because he was losing the ball a lot.
Oh man, I'm watching Brentford Leicester. Y'all
have
poor.
to
What about
go
Ziyech
wide.
yesterday though?
He was good. He was
I
good
just
yesterday.
wanted to flex.
The problem
Yeah,
with
come on,
Ziyech
20
isn't
minutes.
finding the right spots for him or the right position or this or that. It's just him being able to keep hold of the ball, right, and make the right decisions once he gets it. It's just him playing well. It's not about if you play him in this position, he's going to play so much better.
No, but
I don't think so.
Yeah, no,
he'll
I
be
agree with that.
better
Yeah.
I
playing in
agree
a
with you,
cam.
Tina.
In the
Hey,
system we play
go.
now,
I need to answer
the
somebody
wide
at the
men,
chat.
the
Go,
wide men are asked to
go
go
AM. I
wide.
need you to be quiet, please. It's not a
No,
joke anymore.
listen now. Listen to me. The system we play, the wing men have to go wide so that the wing backs can overlap. So ZH is asked to go wide and try to come inside as a normal winger. That's the thing. If we are playing with a cam where he has free roll to be anywhere on the pitch he wants to be, then that would be better for us. If he's feeding to Lukaku, Werner, whoever is on the flank. As I'm saying before, the system is working for us at the moment. When the players are good on the day, it works out. But when we come up against players like teams that defend well, against just the front three, just marking our striker and isolating our wingers, then our football is dead. We have to be depending on Chilwell or Reece James to give an extra attack. When if we had a cam in the midfield, turning, dropping shoulders, making the right true pass, I see us as a more deadly team with a cam.
Vitman, do you know what the
Here's the problem with that.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Like if Ziyaku's doing that on the wings or something, then you say, yeah, okay, he can do that as well in the middle. He's not doing that. Period. I'm not. Where is this confidence coming from in terms of him being able to be that number 10 playing in the center like Mato
But he
was
needs to.
for us?
He's like,
He's
he
not.
needs to
He
show us
hasn't.
like
He hasn't
something.
shown that remotely.
Yeah, there's nothing. He's shown. I mean,
No,
I love him. I love
bro.
this. But
At
when
the
he
start of
played,
the season,
but he
was
did play
the
that
best, our
midfield
best
though.
winger or attacker at the start of the season
In the
before he got that
preseason,
injury
brother.
against
In the
I
Villarreal
preseason.
agree.
in, in,
I
in
agree.
the
He
in
was
the
our
Super
best.
Cup.
He was. He was
But
our
that
best.
was in the
But then it just.
preseason.
I
Once
gotta
the
ask Matt
season
a
started,
question.
he started 4 games in a row, right? And in every single game he was poor.
What?
Matt,
Yeah.
your Australian brother. Do you know Alfred? He's on like
Alfred.
Sadiq's stream.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't he sound like Korg from
Who?
Thor Ragnarok? The Rock dude.
No, he doesn't sound like him. It's like him.
He sounds like Korg.
Man said he sounds like
Sound
Kobe.
like him.
Yeah,
He has a very deep voice. He does. He has
It's
a very
lost
deep
on me.
Western voice, but it doesn't sound like him.
Oh my
I was
days.
just trying to break up some of the arguments.
No,
Brother, even Mason Mount can be a cam. I have a problem with Mason Mount being a cam as well. We need to play with a cam.
Well, I
I
don't know
don't
what
care.
this
People are
obsession
going to
is with the
argue with
camp.
me and say, "Oh,
Why are
I'm
you
talking
obsessed
about
with
the
camp?
system."
We just see someone more creative, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So we're
He'll be
still
back
lacking.
soon. He'll be
He's our
back
biggest
soon.
chance creator. We don't need creation, bruv. We need our front
Listen,
line to
No,
bang the goals. That's it.
we still
Nah,
do.
nah,
But if
it's
we're
be
still
talking
need more
about
careful.
creative.
no, hold on. If we're
Be
talking about Ziyech and
careful.
somehow like
Be
you know
careful,
positionally, if he's moved in centrally, he's going to be. He has difficulty holding on to the ball, guys.
bro.
Like
Listen,
I generally
Like
speaking, what
wherever he
everything
has
is
70 Vitmus, he has 65 to 72% of the ball passing
yeah, but
rate,
ZH,
and he loses
the
it a
way
lot.
ZH is playing is based on morals. That's just ZH.
So do
It's
you see
not
something in
about
ZH though? Do you
it.
still
That
see
is
something
just
in him?
ZH. He just needs moral and to get him playing as how we know he can play. That's just ZH. I think ZH is just playing this way because he's not really a part of the team. He's in and out of the squad, in and out of the 11. So I think if he's given
They're
the
just not
opportunity to
motivated.
play the football that he wants to play, we'd see
I'm
a better
so
person
confused,
on,
bro.
on the football pitch. That's
I
my
don't. Yeah, I
opinion.
don't. I don't
You
think it's something.
said that Havertz is a 10 in his best days. He wasn't. He was a false nine, bro. That's how he worked out.
Can
A
this
Leverkusen?
idea of a false nine as well.
Yeah, like literally
Listen,
they used him.
this guy's a he's a number 9, and that's what he's going to He's a number develop 9. into, right? Like this false
Oh,
9 shit is it's who really plays a false 9, right? One or two
Man
teams in
City.
world football. There
Bro,
you go. One or two
uppers play
teams
better
in world football.
playing
It's a
behind a
position that it's
striker,
not
playing
really
off the striker.
you don't develop into a false 9 really.
Yeah, no, it's not a
Like
position; it's a role.
it's not
no,
really a
no, that's
position.
the role. That's the role he played best as. He wasn't a cam though. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
he was
a
a pure
center,
when.
a
But you,
CF,
the time you're talking
When?
about,
When are
like,
you
they're
talking?
not far from each other. A CF or a cam is not far from each other, bro. You
What?
get me?
It's not, but cam is rarely used nowadays by top teams, guys. Like, are we ignoring this or? It's
No, I'm
But
not
you,
ignoring this.
it's
I
I
think
not
we're,
that
we're
I
getting
agree.
into minutia here.
I
This is semantics
Yeah,
because
the thing is,
you can say that a center forward's a cam or cam's a center forward, and Tuchel says we play with 2 6s when they're playing more like 2 8s. Again,
but you know
you're
what
getting
my
into
problem?
minutia when you're talking about that.
Man, I say, we think we need a more creative player. Do you think the wingers we have right now, even and this is not a slander, do the wingers we have right now, are they that creative to give us that extra
Yeah,
oomph that we
Pulisic and Cho are creative. They are.
really? You think that these
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
are that
I
on
do.
that
I do.
level?
I think.
I don't think
Yeah, I
Pulisic
think
is
they
creative
create.
now.
How is
They
he?
create.
How is Daka not starting for
Bad
Leicester?
man. Me
Listen,
now,
they're creating.
one
Listen,
thing with
here's
me,
how
But
one
here's
Cho's
how
been
I
Very
good
see
in the
it.
last
Jamaican.
few games.
Here's how I see it.
Pulisic has it in him, but he has also been.
I think they're creative enough. Partner with a genius coach. They're not at their peak. They're not world class players yet, but they're good enough and they're creative enough, put into the right positions by their coach to do well for us. And we've seen them really do well. We won a
brother.
Champions League with these guys.
You
So
know,
it's like
Tuchel
one thing
said.
about it.
Tuchel said it in his interview. He said, my job is to work out the best solution. All right.
Yeah.
So he will use the squad players that he's got to give him the best outcome against who he's playing, and that's why he never sets up the same way every game. And that's his job, and he's very good at it. So I think as long as we play as a team, we will create as a team
That
enough.
is our
We don't
best
have to
chance
rely
of
on
winning the Premier
individuals.
League. That's what you just said. That is our best chance of winning the Premier League by playing as a team.
But we do, Vitmus. We play as a team.
But you were talking about getting an extra, like a creative. You say we need more creativity.
We do.
There's not enough creativity in this team to get.
Yeah,
us
but
the
that can
Premier
be
League.
down
We're
to the
talking about just being creative.
system as well. That's
But
down to the system.
let me, Vitmus, let me give you an example here, right? And I'm going to speak about Man City for a second. Man City, for now, as long as we know, have not played with a striker. And the other yesterday, after the Brighton game, I tried to ask him a question, saying, you don't have a striker, but somehow you seem to have made it work, and it's looking like it's really flowing, and it seems like it's been the right call for you. And he stopped the guy right there, and he said, "Sky." Not even to the guy, yeah. He said, "Sky," the whole company, and he said, "Guys, I know what you're doing." And all he said to them is simply this: by you telling me what you're telling me right now, I know that in a few weeks or in the next game or the game after, whatever, at some point we might not get the result we got today, and you're going to ask me the opposite question, saying why we need a striker. So what's the point of you telling me this? He's like, there's no point in you asking me this question. It's irrelevant. The point I'm making is this: when it comes to teams, a manager is the person that will find the solutions. Every time we talk about creativity issues, people talk about it as it's always just a reliance on the individual. No, it's a collective responsibility. The whole team has to do their part to make that issue work.
That's what I said. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
good. Man City, if you watch them, don't even need it. Bro, Gabriel Jesus is a striker, bro. Man's not playing as a striker. You understand what they're doing? Like, for
They
me,
play as a team. They know their roles. They all know
and
their
guess
roles.
what? It's making teams don't know what to prepare for, because at any point it could be Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva. Literally, they don't know who they're going to face that is going to be up front of them.
No,
and guess
but
what? Teams
you know
don't know
the
what
whole
to
thing.
prepare for.
The thing is, I will say with City, the one thing I'll say that they've got in their favour, whereas I don't think we have as much of in our favour, is all their attackers are slightly different. They all offer something slightly different in terms of like from a creativity standpoint. So like, for example, like Phil Foden is not the same as like a Bernardo Silva, in the same way that then he's not the same as like Mahrez, and he's not the same as like Kevin De Bruyne. Like,
Isn't that the same for us?
Yeah, it's the same for
I
us.
don't think
it's the same
not to the same extent. I don't think to the
say
same
Scott.
point. I think it is to a little degree, but not.
Scott, I'll say the same. The major difference is all those guys are over 27, except for Foden.
No,
Yeah, all our guys are
they're in
kids
their
except for
prime.
Ziyech. And
They're all
Lukaku.
in their
age
prime.
has nothing to do with this. You know what?
It does. These are prime players. How old is Mahrez?
No, bro. Listen, age has nothing to do with this, brother.
How can you?
I don't know.
How
Brother,
No. You got Vitmus.
Listen, these
If
guys
a
are
player's
in
in
their
their
prime.
prime,
Kevin De Bruyne is
have
29
been
in his
playing
prime.
together for years. This man have been in the same team for like 4 seasons.
That's also a
or
factor,
5.
yeah, chemistry.
It's
But
not
they're also
your
in their
age,
prime.
bro. Listen, that's the best manager in the world they're talking about, Pep Guardiola.
well,
Whether
Tuchel's
we
the
want
best.
to agree, whether we want to say yes to it or no, but Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world.
Tuchel's the best Vitmus, bruv. Right now, Tuchel's the best, bro.
Listen,
Pep's the best
brother,
manager in the world.
if we are talk football, brother. As much as being a fan, talk football, brother.
Well, that's a
Me,
foul.
I will never be biased. I love my manager,
You
and he's
punched him
one
in
of
the
the
head.
best
How's that not a
managers in
foul?
the world. But that doesn't make
I
him the best.
disagree with you, but I don't think Tuchel is the best manager either.
I don't know about
That's what
that,
I'm
man. I
saying.
think that's
Pep
a
Guardiola
debatable.
is the best manager in
No, I don't.
football.
Well,
Who do
in
you
my
think is?
opinion, he's
Alex,
not.
who do you think is out of interest?
Right
Brother.
this minute, or
Yeah.
I think
Because
for
you know
me,
we
for
won
me
champions.
is Klopp.
Oh, fair
Right
enough.
this minute.
I got a question for everybody. 'Cause
Well-
I just saw this. If a goalkeeper comes for the ball and the guy heads the ball and the goalkeeper punches him in the head, is that not a foul?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's
Should
a
be.
foul.
Okay.
And a penalty.
Yeah, it should be.
Wait, if the
Should be a
keeper
pen.
punched him in the head while going to punch the
Yeah,
ball.
he actually knocked him out.
I'm not sure, because Ospina did that to our players Bear and he never got fouled. Do you remember him doing it to Oscar a good few years ago?
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's us, man.
No,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is- I'm talking about Leicester versus Brentford.
Leicester, right now, this is happening.
Oh,
with
you're
Leicester.
watching that game, huh? No.
Brother, the man
Yeah,
is-
because I
Big up
get
Frosted Myth
Everyone.
saying, can someone find... Oh,
Later
take
on.
care,
Peace,
bro.
Oscar.
Bless.
See you Tuesday.
Big up Frosted Myth saying, can anyone find overrated ginger man from Manchester? Come on, man. Like, you
I
know
think it's
me.
talking
I'm not
about
gonna say
Scholesy,
too-
isn't he?
Yeah, and I'm not going to say too much because I do want to get invited back onto the overlap.
I
But
thought he was talking about the groin.
Why was he?
Did you see him look at my thing, Lewis? See my story, bruv.
Yo,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't.
them to make
It has been a
properly
bit
about
long for
football,
Skull
brother.
since the.
He's a wild man, bro.
Let's
It
not
is.
Why was he munching on toes?
That's
No,
wild.
let's not talk about that. No.
One them
Var
is-
did not even look
Nah,
at
His
it.
daughter's clothes, man.
He's going off camera.
No,
Nah,
man,
man,
I'm not involved.
Aye. Save that for the overlap part.
Yo,
Oh boy,
let me say something again.
Save that for overlap part 3.
I'm gonna
So,
leave
Yeah,
that in it. I'm keeping that book closed.
yeah,
You
when's
see-
the next overlap though?
Let me see.
Should be next
1,
international break because they did on the previous one.
Yo,
Yeah, hopefully they bring us back on. 'cause I
Did
want a
you
long
see what?
break.
Did you see now? What's his name? His videos with his daughter start to come out.
We're talking about. Bro.
Oh no, are we bringing
No,
that
no,
into it?
no,
Like,
no, no, no,
let me
no.
jump off camp. All right, let me not be involved.
I think he was taking off
I
the
don't-
hard skin, isn't
I'm
he?
not getting
He's taking off the
involved.
hard
Why
skin
are
off
you
your
guys?
feet.
Are you guys scared of skulls? Why are you guys scared of skulls?
Let's save it for
I'm
the
not
next
scared of
international break.
skulls. I want to be
This man,
invited back onto
no,
the
I'm saying
overlap.
Mo's taking
I'm
himself
not
off camera
talking
like
on
he's
it.
scared of skulls,
Bro,
man.
I'm not involved with this conversation. It's not football related, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is football. Paul,
Skulls is a
It is.
goat though,
Skulls is a
man.
good
He
one.
was a baller,
I-
bro.
Nah, ever
He was an
since he
absolute
argued with
baller.
Lewis, ever
He
since he argued with Lewis,
disrespected the
everything
game
doesn't
of
come
football
on his
by
way.
munching on toes on camera.
No, don't. Let's save it for the next one.
Disrespected the game, man. What do you have to talk about?
hold on now. Let me say something to based on what I was saying
I'm just
before.
kidding.
I know
I'm
you
just
guys
kidding.
are having a laugh about this.
You're not kidding.
Brother, in Pep
Oh
Guardiola's
my God!
system,
Just they don't even stop, do they?
What,
I'm
like
sorry
you
to
lot,
bring it
you lot
up. I
don't like
just
sucking on
I-
your missus's toes and that? Come on.
That is his
No.
daughter.
that was his
Okay.
daughter,
That's his
though.
daughter, man.
Yeah, that's his
That's
child,
the-
bro.
that's the
That's his
Welsh
flesh and blood,
dude.
bro.
We know where
That's his
Johnny's
fucking-
getting his minerals from then.
Hey,
All right, cool.
yo.
That's good.
Oi!
Hey,
Easy, son.
oi.
Ah, fucking hell, man.
yo, but look at that, guys. Fun and joke aside, like if we were fit enough to like play at the level where these guys are playing football, any one of us, if we know the basics of
Fucking hell,
football,
he was cool.
any one of us could play in Pep's team and score a goal or two. The way his team is set up. So if you're telling me that they don't need a striker, the system that Pep Guardiola has, man, how he has his team playing for the past 4 seasons or 5 seasons. Any one of us right here who was like fit and know the basics of football could score one
To
out
be
of
fair,
3
Vitmus, when he had Ibrahimovic, he didn't like it. He couldn't make it work at was it Barcelona when he signed it?
That was because of
couldn't-
Ibra. That was because they fell out. That wasn't because of him being
Yeah,
a striker.
them
That's
fell
because
out.
they fell out.
And Ibra
No,
wasn't
it
that
didn't.
mobile
He
either.
couldn't. No, it fell out on the football reasons too. It's not like it fell out because of the. He's
But
not
he's
the
also-
only one. Eto,
But he's also
he
like
didn't
at
do good
Barca,
with
he had
Eto either.
strikers. Yeah, but
Why
he's
do we
also
He didn't do
care?
good with Eto either.
Why do we care?
No, I'm
He's
just
not our
saying,
manager.
No, I'm just saying because people are saying Pep is not the best manager in football at the moment. So I don't know.
I like Tommy Teague myself.
Yeah, man's here, innit?
No, brother, of course we have to give
The reason
kudos
why I
to
don't
him,
think
but-
he's a good,
All right.
why I think he's not good because he went to the
Bundesliga.
Yeah, he went to the teams that I actually like. Why are you going to Bayern to show us what you got?
Because the structure
because the best managers manage the best teams. Like I'm not out
No,
here
it's
wanting him
not.
to manage Stoke.
No,
Oh,
even Mourinho outbeat him on that.
Bury that.
What do you
Mourinho
mean?
came from Porto, and he won the championship
Yeah, and he's
league
also
and the
managed
league over there.
Chelsea, Inter Milan, Real Madrid. So it's not like he's managed the
was in-
Stoke of the
yeah,
world.
come on, you know what I'm saying, Scott, and don't try to make that. You
Bro,
know,
he's
Pep,
managed top teams as well. Like I don't get where this argument for Pep comes. Oh, he's never managed a shit team, or he's always managed the top teams. That's what the best managers do.
Back on that, brother.
Yeah,
Like,
but I
he's
think
never
what
been
he's
managers
saying-
do.
No,
They manage
hold on a
top
second.
teams.
But if you
Look at
if you
hang on.
compare,
Look at
if you
Ancelotti.
comparing them, if you comparing the managers, then you have to bring that. Do you?
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you
You
don't.
can't be a best manager by
compare
managing the best teams
I
only.
compare their managerial ability, their man management, how they improve players, how they improve teams. That's what I do. I don't care
Scott,
about
I think
the level of the team.
Wait, Scott. I think what they mean when they talk about Guardiola and the teams that he's faced is that there's not really been an upward pathway as opposed to other managers.
Barcelona.
Like Ancelotti, you said.
What
Ancelotti
Barcelona?
Wait.
Oh.
Ancelotti, you said an example. He was at Reggiana, Parma, Juventus, Milan, Chelsea. There's a rise up. Whereas with Guardiola, he came from the Barcelona B team straight into the A team, straight to Bayern Munich.
all the
Yeah,
way.
but do you know
Yeah.
why? Do you know why he came
Both
in
teams
from
are
the B
already
team?
ready to go to the top. They just
No,
need
but
the
do you know
few
why he
adjustments.
went from the B team to the A team? It's because of how well he got that B team playing.
It's because
What
it's
he's
the
done for that.
structure.
It's the same
Doesn't
as
have
Zidane.
nothing to do with it. Doesn't
What
have
it
nothing
is?
to
Do
do
you
with
know
it.
what his record was?
That's Barcelona structure.
Why are
No,
we
but
why are we arguing
lie.
over a manager that doesn't manage
Look,
Chelsea?
at the end of the day,
I don't even know. I'm here for
Tuchel's
the
done
debate.
him. He done him in the Champions League final, and he's done him 3 times back to back. So for me, Tuchel is just such a genius. If Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world, Tuchel's done him 3 on the bounce.
no,
And
Yeah,
in
but
the
you know,
one
he
that
did
was
have
the
a
most
good record
important.
at the B team. He did have
yeah,
a good
but
I
record
mean,
there.
Klopp do it
Exactly.
too.
It's what he
Tuchel are the
did for the
second
B team
German manager
because they were a
to do that.
mess. The A team
Klopp
had
do it
just sacked their
before him.
manager. They were a
Scott,
mess,
Scott,
and
it's
they.
for with deaf ears, but they're not actually listening to you.
I know, but like,
Refuting them.
No, I understand what you're saying, Scott. But if you compare one against another, that's when you have to bring everything.
Yeah, and then you're punishing a manager for being able to manage top teams, bro.
No. I'm not fine. Do you agree that Pep has the choices to go where he wants to go?
Yeah, but why is he
yes.
going to sign up for jobs that don't suit what he's actually capable of?
Mourinho is better than Pep, so let's
No,
put
he's
it
not.
that way.
It's a fact.
No,
It's
he's
not
not.
even a joke.
Jester, I love you, bro.
Right, guys, we're gonna end the stream here because I've got to head off. But big up everyone that's locked in. As always, smash the like and subscribe button. We'll be back tomorrow for Southampton in the Carabao Cup preview. That's gonna be a fun stream, isn't it? But yeah, big up everyone that's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. We'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, take care, like and subscribe. We'll leave you with the AC Penitentiary. And as always,
Fuck Chelsea.